You better work!
Hello, and welcome to the Fashion Smorgasbord. We're your hosts. I'm Haley Drozdowski. And I'm Emily Malinowski. So, Emily, did you know that my favorite designer is Balenciaga? Oh, I see! Really? I mean, who could resist with those square coats? And you know, those like balloon skirts and that cocoon jacket. Oh girl. Now he worked it. He worked it, for sure. Well, you know, I just think we need to give our viewers a closer look. I would have to agree with you there, Haley. Alright, let's roll the tape. Roll 'em.
Balenciaga got his start in his native country of Spain. In his teenage years, a sophisticated and well-known woman of his town, Marquesa de Casatorres, decided to sponsor him. She sent him to Madrid for the amazing experience of formal training in fashion. She donned the results and became a walking advertisement for Balenciaga in his early years.
Another important influence in Balenciaga's life was his mother. Balenciaga, from the very beginning of his life, toiled side by side with his mother, learning the basics of garment making.
Another important group of people who found favor with his designs was the Spanish royal family.
Balenciaga's roots lie in the Spanish fishing village of Gutierrez in the Basque region. Later in life, he would draw many of his inspirations from his mother country. In his early career, he opened boutiques in Barcelona, Madrid, and San Sebastian.
Although Balenciaga found much favor in his home country of Spain, the Spanish Civil War proved to have devastating effects on his business. Forced to close his Spanish boutiques, Balenciaga moved his fashion operation to Paris.
One of Balenciaga's first major jobs was as the manager of the Pagazon de Louvre workshop in San Sebastian. After working at this workshop, Balenciaga opened his Spanish boutique, as mentioned earlier, called Isa. Later, after opening this fashion house, he opened another subsidiary company in Madrid, and officially was known as Balenciaga.
Balenciaga served as an employer for many of today's top designers, including Hubert de Givenchy, André Courrèges, Oscar de la Renta, and Emmanuel Ungaro.
In Paris, Balenciaga partnered with the coiffeur Guillaume and came out with his feature-long false plates.
In Balenciaga's first runway show, his designs were reminiscent of the Spanish Renaissance. He also found inspiration from various works of art, including those by painter Diego Velázquez. His portrait of Spanish princesses inspired Balenciaga's famed Infanta gown. His evening wear was evocative of the Spanish bullfighters and their immensely decorated jackets.
Balenciaga went out with a memorable collection in 1968. He utilized dramatic colors, short skirts, and horizontal stripes, among other elements of fashion.
Balenciaga's career came to a close in 1968. His famous salon shut its doors in this year, and Balenciaga quietly retired to Paris.
Balenciaga is most well known for his interesting haute couture designs. His first fashion house in 1918 was that of haute couture. He is well known for the fluidity in his shapes and his knowledge of fabric and construction.
In 1948, Balenciaga began to dabble in the perfume industry. The first perfume he released was called Fruit des Airs, or Fleeting Moment. In 1955, he released another fragrance entitled Quadrille. In 1971, a third scent came out called Ho Hang.
One of Balenciaga's most celebrated designs was the square coat. In this jacket, the sleeve was cut into a single piece using the yoke. Another winning concept of Balenciaga's was his use of fluid lines. This was forgiving for women of all shapes and sizes, and thus was quite popular. Continuing with the idea of enhancing the female body, Balenciaga's waistlines were based on what was most flattering for that particular woman's shape.
In 1953, his famed balloon jacket came out. This coat was designed in a spherical shape, completed with a pedestal atop the wearer's head.
In 1957, he released his high-waisted baby doll dress collection. Another popular item was the cocoon coat.
Continuing with his balloon theme, he released the balloon skirt with either one or two spheres around the lower body.
Another example of Balenciaga's famous waistlines, or lack thereof, was the sack dress, making its debut in 1957.
His fabrics of choice were heavy cloths or ornate embroideries. In collaboration with the Swiss fabric house, Abram, they produced a fabric called Gazar, which was stiffer than Balenciaga's typical choice of fabric.
During the time of World War II, Balenciaga's use of black and brown together and black lace over bright pink were color combinations that had never been seen before. Despite the hard conditions, this uniqueness of color attracted clients all over the world.
Balenciaga is just as well known for his accessories as he is for his clothing. As mentioned earlier, he worked with the coiffeur Guillaume to create hats with long false plaits. Also previously mentioned was his venture into the world of fragrances in 1948, creating Fruits des Airs and later Quadrille and Hohang. Finally, Balenciaga has his own line of stylish handbags, which are quite well liked among women today.
Balenciaga's designs have been worn by many prominent women from when he first began all the way to today's time. Women ranging from the Duchess of Windsor, who was an American socialite married to Prince Edward, Pauline de Rothschild, a well-known fashion icon of the 1900s, and Gloria Guinness, a popular socialite in Mexico who wrote for her, all frequently wore his clothing many years ago. Balenciaga also had the honor of designing the wedding dress for Fabiola, the Queen of Belgium. Today, trendy celebrities including Salma Hayek and Gwyneth Paltrow have been spotted sporting Balenciaga.
It is hard to narrow down specific awards that Balenciaga received, as he is known as a legend in the fashion world. The Balenciaga Foundation has been founded in his honor, endorsing Balenciaga and all of his accomplishments. There are also national Balenciaga prizes, which are awarded annually for things like Best Spanish Designer and Best New Entrance in the fashion world. Finally, there are 6 exhibitions worldwide showcasing Balenciaga's work. Balenciaga's unique vision and creativity is sure to survive the passage of time. Balenciaga is the man!
You be sure and become a fan.
I have one thing to say. You better work!